I just have to say, I have this incredible feeling about being here this morning with all of you. Does anybody else starting to feel that? Just like, what is that within me? You know, that is this incredible, uplifting ocean of life that is flowing through every being. And we are just here to learn how to awaken, to let that ocean flow through us fully consciously. If we can just remember that the feeling, the quality of that ocean is love and light and wisdom and serving each other. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come? Why have you come to love? Serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To So we welcome Reverend Inga to guide us in our opening prayer.
Let us welcome the children first.
We welcome our children here, and let's all join together in a blessing of the children. Call and response. How does it start? Oh my. Oh, of course. We love you. We bless you. Oh yeah. And we behold the divine light shining within you.
I told you there was an incredible feeling today. I mean, it's beyond words, right?
And what a blessing it is to laugh together and to behold those beautiful shining faces. We are so blessed by our children. So now I'd like to invite Eric up to light the candle. I'm sorry, Sean. Eric, Sean, Eric. The boys.
It's beyond words, Ingrid.
Hello, everybody. I want to light this candle today for all you amazing people that continuously step up. Whenever anybody needs help, there's always somebody here that steps up and gives a helping hand. And it's so amazing to be part of an amazing group of people that have so much love. And every time I hear about people coming here, that's the one thing that they say is everybody here is so kind and amazing. So I light this candle to all of you and all the people out viewing, and thank you so much.
You're one of those people, Sean.
Yeah, thank you, Sean.
So, I invite you to shift focus, start that journey inward. Maybe close your eyes. And know that Spirit is present here as we bring that into our awareness. We know that we are connected to our inner self, to one another, and to our source. In this moment, I quiet my mind and center my thoughts on the presence of God within. I consciously focus on my breathing. Inhaling, I affirm God is. Exhaling, I affirm I am. Breathing in, God is. And breathing out, I am. With each breath, I am more relaxed and peaceful. Tension and stress dissipate as I affirm. With each breath, I am more relaxed and peaceful.
Now your higher self just spoke.
Little did I know the power.
So for the lightness that laughter brings, we are grateful, and so it is. I am. Amen. So, welcome all on this beautiful Sunday, probably the last before the rain starts, at least for a while. So I'm enjoying it and hope you are too. On Thursday will be Prayer Unity World Day of Prayer, and I hope that you will participate. I'm sure there'll be more of that said later. Also, I'll be starting my prayer class tomorrow night, and if you would like to participate but are unable to do so in person, know that it is available on Zoom as well. So come see me afterwards, and I'll make sure I get your information to send you the link so you can Zoom in. All right, so if anybody here is with us for the very first time, we have welcome packets, and our ushers are prepared to bring you one if you'd like to raise your hand. On the front is a little name tag. Yes, we have newcomers. Welcome.
Yeah, sometimes you get the welcome packets as you come in the door, so it's understandable if you don't want to take two. That's fine.
If you'll wear the name tag, we know to identify you and welcome you after the service, and we'll hope that you'll join us for refreshments later. There is a table with a sunflower tablecloth, and that is a good place to sit so we can find you more easily. And I think that's enough from me. And now, Donovan.
Tiptoe through the tulips, huh? Hi, good morning. Happy September. This year sure seems to be going fast, and welcome to you. I want to welcome each and every one of you, so welcome. Welcome. Just kidding. And welcome to our Old Steve Martin bit. Welcome to people watching on our live stream. All righty. Oh, first thing, make sure your cell phones are off or on silent mode so they don't ring during the service. If you're not sure, you can check. The September Bulletin is posted. Be sure to check it out on our website at Unity of the, look at that image, that's cool, unityofthevalley.org. Very cool. Righty, prayer request. If you're in need of prayer for yourself, a loved one, or whomever, you can place a prayer card on our prayer tree right here. And last week I didn't know, but they're in your bulletins. And if you didn't get a bulletin, if you raise your hand, one of our ushers will bring it to you. So if you would need a prayer card, or you can do it after, they're in baskets back there. But please fill out your prayer request and put it on our tree. And if you're not here in the building or during the week, you can communicate with Julia and send in your prayer request. And her number is right up there. And any time of day, Julia? Sure. I always email. All righty. Today, been waiting for this. First Sunday potluck today after the service. Join us in the fellowship hall for that. Also today, 12:15 to 1:30 p.m., the Empathetic Presence and Nonviolent Communication Practice Group with Michael Drayling. They're meeting today at 12:15. Monday from 6 to 8 p.m., Prayer Works Wonders class. This interactive class includes demonstrations of various approaches to praying for ourselves and others, and gives the opportunity to learn by doing, facilitated by Reverend Inga. And if you're interested in that, please sign up in the fellowship hall. It starts tomorrow. Tuesday, 11:30 to 1:30 p.m., Unity Hangout with Sean and Alice. Coffee's provided. Bring yourself, a friend, a snack, and come hang out. Also on Tuesday, look at that, that's awesome. Forbidden Planet, Walter Pigeon, Anne Francis. Oh, Leslie Nielsen's in that, cool. Let's see. Behind the Lens Seminar movie is Forbidden Planet, followed by a Q&A with Tom Blank, and I talked with Tom a little bit. He said this film is important because it was a forerunner of the big science fiction movies, and he said that it's a loose adaptation of Shakespeare's The Tempest. So you have to come check that one out. Can you imagine? Okay, let's see. Page 2. Wednesday, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m., the Unity Grief Support Group. It's facilitated by Reverend Inga, and it meets in the fellowship hall. Thursday, 12 to 6 p.m., this was mentioned earlier, the Unity's World Day of Prayer. People from all faiths, I love that, all faiths, are invited to join us as we connect in prayer with Unity churches worldwide. Join us for an opening ceremony at noon, followed by prayer, walking a labyrinth, a meditation, and silence. The closing ceremony will be at 6 p.m. Come for part or all of the event. Also on Thursday, Therapeutic Touch is happening 3:30 to 5 p.m. in the Fillmore Wing. Alrighty, Friday from 1 to 3 p.m., Instrumental Inner Listening Practice with Jerry Green in the Sanctuary. Tune into spirit with your own instrument, voice, and movement, or sit in silence. And it's free, so check that out. Next Sunday, Sailing Lessons. Changing Course from Fate to Destiny. Ooh, I like that, with John West. It's going to be great. So next Sunday, 12:15 to 1:15 p.m., Unity's Environmental Action Team. The acronym for that is UEAT. Or just eat, but if you throw they get dumber and dumber. Okay, the jokes, I mean. Meets in the garden room. Everyone's invited. And now Annie and Dick have an announcement, followed by a couple announcements from Laura.
Hello. So 20 years ago, I was the caregiver for my mother as she made her way toward a peaceful death. And I was surprised to learn that I have a comfort with death. And so, since then, I have been working with dying people and their families to share that comfort. And so now, Reverend Dick, our beloved Reverend Dick, and my friend Laura Zucchi and I are going to present this 8-week class. It's going to be on Zoom, and there's a different topic each week. So the first half of each class will be a presentation by a knowledgeable person in that area, such as hospice or wills and advance directives, things like that. And then the second half of each class is going to be small breakout rooms so that you can talk about this. What do you believe? What are your experiences? Because I believe talking about things can help make them less scary. So I invite you to join us for this free 8-week class on Zoom, and you can register with Reverend Dick. Thank you.
Thank you, Ani. Well, I have 2 announcements. One is Paul Biondi, our saxophone and flute player, is doing better. We're raising money to help him cover the cost of instrument repairs after his catastrophic car accident. And if you'd like to donate, you can make a check out to Unity of the Valley and stipulate it's for our community support fund for Paul. And if you just say community support fund, that will go into our general fund, which helps Paul and other people as well. So if you want it all to go to Paul, just write for Paul, and that is totally tax deductible. My second announcement is that 2 weeks from today, we have an incredible New Thought person coming to present not only the talk and the service, but to give a concert afterwards. His name is Daniel Namod. He's amazing, yeah. So the concert starts really soon, right after we eat at 12:30, and we're suggesting a donation of $15, but no one will be turned away. If you want to pay extra, you can do that too, but if you don't have the money, that's okay. Come anyways. We want to share this time with you. So I hope to see you there. And now it's time for our music team to come up to the platform. We're welcoming back Eric this week after helping with the kids all summer. Thank you, Eric. And we're also welcoming a new member, Sky Westfall. So we're going to rise. Please rise and sing All Good, Holy, Holy, which to me is a song acknowledging that life can be hard, really difficult and challenging at times. But it's a reminder that we have within us everything we need to get through, including we have access to our divine creator. So please join us for this.
All good, holy, holy. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good. Holy, holy.
Thank you.
And with that affirmation that all good, holy, holy, and the joy that's in this room this morning, the laughter, and all of that we have shared together in the last few minutes, just point in that direction and affirm that all is good, holy, holy. So let's take that now into meditation together, into our time of inward dwelling in the holy. Oh, sweet Spirit, thank you for the reminder. Thank you for affirming in us our good, our holiness, and our capacity to be in joy, in communion with each other, in love, in compassion and caring, because your presence lives in us. And you have created for us a way to be in the world, today and every day. To be in the world in love, in holiness, in affirmation of the good. Take into your hearts now as you in meditation and affirm within you, all is good, all is holy. In spite of circumstances within me, all is well. Take that in and take it in deeply. And if the melody of the song we've just sung has resonated with you and is still going through your mind, then let your heart sing it out fully. All good, holy, holy. Let's take a few moments in just a quiet time with the music supporting us to affirm all good, holy, holy. And now to the goodness and the holiness within each and every being everywhere on this planet. And the affirmation of the goodness of the Holy Spirit. Let us say thank you within. Quietly saying thank you, Spirit, and then saying thank you. Say your name if you wish to. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the friends and neighbors, all those who support us in our walk. For this truly is a sacred moment in time when we can once again affirm the beauty, the love, the grace, the joy, and the passion of the life that we live within and without. Once more, in just a brief moment of quiet, affirm all is good. All is holy, all is well. And I say to yourself, I am loved, I know that. I am in the light of the love of God. Thank you again, sweet Spirit, for your affirmation of holiness within and without. And so it is. Blessings to all. Amen.
Good morning. Thank you, Sherry. I needed that. Thanks for my great singers to my right here in the band. So the part of the topic for today is how do we make it through adversity? And it was last summer, one of my friends, while coming back from our music festival where we met at, was killed by a drunk driver, and I was quite broken. So I had to write this so I could express how I was feeling. And like clouds and like the ocean, feelings come and go. So this is called for Kim Brasher. Like waves on the ocean, like clouds in the sky, my heart is wide open, broken by the fall. So I lean into the wind, I stand in my own rain, like waves on the ocean, like clouds in the sky. My heart is wide open, broken by the fall. So I lean into the wind, I stand in my own rain. Will there be a tomorrow? Will there be another day? And how do I keep going when I'm feeling this way? Will I lean into the wind? I stand in my own rain, like waves on the ocean, like tears from my eyes. My heart is wide open, and there's no reason why but to break my heart open, to see that I miss you. Like waves on the ocean, clouds in the sky. Well, maybe there's a magic potion, or maybe I'll just cry and leave it to the wind, and leave it to the rain. Like waves on the ocean, like clouds in the sky. My heart is wide open, broken by the fall. So I lean into the wind, I stand in my own rain. 'Cause blue skies always come. Yes, blue skies always come after rain. Blue skies always come after rain. Thank you.
when Donna and I first heard that song. I think I first heard it yesterday for the first time, Justice's new song. We are both touched by that metaphor of leaning into the wind, leaning into the rain. And it just struck me how in this life, we're so often, the one reason why we struggle with challenges, it's as if we don't want to feel the feelings that come up. We're afraid of the feelings that are flowing through us like wind and rain. And I think Donna and I both just love that. Instead of running from it or fighting the wind, just moving through it, towards it. Isn't that an incredible thought about? Because so often in life we run into situations and we say, I'm going to fight this. I remember an actor I loved, the Little House on the Prairie guy, Michael Landon. When he got stomach cancer and died young, he said he was going to fight that cancer. And I just had this thought that, well, maybe fighting isn't the right metaphor. Because fighting creates kind of negative chemicals in the body. Whereas accepting, not that there's something bad going to happen, but accepting that you are feeling what you're feeling and you are going to move through these circumstances, and maybe even taking that other step, accepting that you are part of the ocean of spirit, no matter what. So today's message is having what I call the can-do mindset, trusting in our divine capacities. I had thought of this a while back, and then Inga gave a talk recently where she listed several things that are helpful in life, and she just threw out this word, having a can-do attitude. Do you remember saying that? So she probably thinks I copied her. So I'd like to just summarize. Well, you see, I have this subtitle, Trusting in Our Divine Capacities. A lot of times in Unity, we will use the word spiritual tools. And it occurred to me that for me, the word tools is just a little too dry. It doesn't quite work in my mind with the word spiritual, because spiritual, it's ultimately calling us, it's beckoning us into a relationship with the infinite. Tools is beckoning us into the garage. It's like having your spiritual screwdriver and your spiritual drill, your spiritual measuring tape. So Charles Fillmore, he preferred the word powers. That's a more powerful word, isn't it, than tools? And I'm using the word capacities because there is no doubt when you use the word capacities, it refers to something that is part of you. It's an ability that's part of you. So I'm going to be bringing up essentially a survey for you to survey yourself, and it's in your handout in a slightly different form, but you don't need to refer to that because you can take it home with you. So the first question, if you're looking at your handout, you're breaking the rules right now. I knew this was going to be a rowdy bunch today. Just had this feeling, kind of like, I'm so happy to be here, and I think I might be in trouble. So the first question on your survey, it might not be exactly what's in your handout. So I'd like to do things a little differently than what you get in your handout. So it's all kind of adds to each other. So the first survey question is, when facing a challenge that stirs, actually I'd like you to, if you're willing to, close your eyes so that you can focus totally on this question. When facing a challenge that stirs up disappointment and discouragement within you, how quickly do you shift from that to seeking a solution with confident determination? Just think about your approach. How long do you kind of muddle in those feelings of discouragement and disappointment? And I'm not talking about major incidents, like Paul's car wreck that he had that damaged all, thousands of dollars worth of instruments and also hurt his body. But he's doing well from that. But I'm talking about those weekly, if not, sometimes days in a row, you'll have those little disappointments and discouragements, and then or disagreements with a significant other. Not that you ever do that, but that you just kind of go into that feeling of like struggle and fighting the situation, and then after you feel that feeling, how quickly are you able to lean into the rain, lean into the wind, and just accept that you're feeling that, but now you are ready to start moving forward towards a solution. And then reminding yourself, yeah, you can do this. There's a solution out there. And the reason I put this clever-looking raccoon is because I like reading about animal intelligence because it's constantly going up in terms of their measuring. One day they're going to realize they're all smarter than us. I mean, it's just going up and up and up. And so I read a researcher who had raccoons in their lab. And what they said was, whatever challenge we gave it, it just solved it. And it acted with total confidence that it could. It was like there was nothing we could put in front of it that it didn't just go, I can do this, and solved it. They're like little Einsteins, little striped Einsteins. So, the question we might also ask ourselves is, how long do we stay stuck in an energy-wasting loop in our minds? And I think one reason we do that is because it's sort of innate to our human minds that we tend to calculate our losses, and we calculate fairness. And so, it's like you find out that you forgot to cancel some order and $100 just got taken out of your bank account, and then you call and you're fighting the situation, and you call the credit card company, and you find out after some effort you're not going to get that $100 back. And then our mind is calculating, wow, I just lost $100. But what we're missing in that is your life is not that one incident. Your life is the totality. And how many times have you been gifted prosperity in your life? And so there's a natural ebb and flow, but it's like we get one thing taken away and we forget all the ways that we were put forward by life. And then how many times did something go wrong that we thought was wrong, and then later on we said, oh, it all worked out for the best. I'm even in a better situation. We tend to calculate towards the negative. And next week, I'm going to be addressing not just these kind of daily, weekly struggles, but next week we're going to dive into spiritual, not tools, but capacities for dealing with life's greatest challenges. But this week it's more like the tests that the raccoon was put through. Now, moving to the second question on your survey. Again, yes, take in the picture of these elephants, which are confidently nurturing each other. But now, if you would close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you this question deep within your mind. To what degree are you confident in your ability to fulfill your constructive desires? To what degree are you confident in your ability to fulfill your constructive desires? And on your survey that you'll take at home, you can see these different kind of measurements, degrees. And the next to the highest level that I put is just having this strong self-confidence. And we've all known people, perhaps we're one of them, that just seems imbued with a sense of that strong willpower and just know they can deal with things. But here's the deal. There's a higher level than that. Because that's based on yourself. And the problem with the small self, the ego, that relationship you have just with the little self, is that it inevitably runs into limitations. Because ultimately you don't get to keep this small self of yours, because it's just a mask that you're wearing temporarily wearing this body, temporarily identified as a doctor, a lawyer, or some other esteemed profession, or maybe not. Whatever you identify yourself as now, it's just something you're going to have to let go. So if that's what your confidence is based on, you're going to run into limitations. And a little bit later, I'm going to talk about two friends that I lost in the last year. Actually, my two closest male friends I lost in the last year. Similar to Justice talking about a friend he lost. And the reason I think it was is because they were at that next to the highest level of confidence. They weren't at that highest level, which is about your spiritual capacities. So moving on to the third question. Can anybody relate to what this dog is feeling? I did something bad. And if any of you have had a dog, most of them are capable of feeling that feeling and expressing that, aren't they? And it's just a reflection of us too, because we've had that. Okay, so now if you're ready, let's close our eyes. Let's go to this next survey question. When reviewing past mistakes or unsuccessful efforts, do you focus on disappointment, blame, either of yourself or others, or the opportunity to learn and grow? When reviewing past mistakes or unsuccessful efforts, do you focus on disappointment, blame, or the opportunity to learn and grow? Well, this is where I think my two friends that I had met back in, I met Ken. I met Ken in grade school, 4th grade. He became my best friend in 4th grade. And then I met Brett in the 9th grade. And for a temporary period, he sort of became my best friend. And then we became a trio of best friends. Now, Ken was like the ultimate in self-confidence, this cocky demeanor. He was an athlete. He was popular. He won 2nd place at the Mr. Oregon State University as a freshman. And Brett was like the ultimate outdoor nature guide, intellectual. Whatever he would put his mind to, he would become an expert in it. So in high school, he became an expert at outdoorsmanship, and that's probably not a word my wife would appreciate, outdoorswomenship, I don't know. And because she's a naturalist. So he just knew all about hiking and camping, and then he went into biking, and he was the only one in my high school who would shave his legs and become even more popular for it, because he would explain how it made him more streamlined when he would bike. So these two friends had enormous self-confidence, enormous creativity. Ken went on to become a Microsoft, that in charge of Microsoft's rollout of its website, of it when the internet happened, and he rolled out their internet marketplace. That's what Ken was in charge of. And Brett just went into all sorts of his creative endeavors. As a matter of fact, when I was in my second year of college at the University of Oregon, I wasn't quite fully ethical, and I decided, Brett, he's an expert now in anthropology, so I'll ask him to come down to the University of Oregon and take my anthropology test for me. And he came back from that test and he said, I did great on the test, but bad news. They said, will John West please come up to the front? And I said, and then they asked to see your ID because somebody told on you. And I said, what did you do? I said, oh, I didn't have my ID. But I told him I was John West. I said, do you think they believed you? And he said, absolutely not. Well, I survived that episode. I learned a big lesson about cheating. But here's the thing. My two friends are gone from this earth plane, and it all happened this year. And both of them, after exercising their incredible willpower in this world, they ran into the limits of that, and they ran into disappointment. And they were not able, they didn't have the knowledge of the spiritual connection. And they both used alcohol as their tool to leave this world. And Ken left last year, and Brett left 11 months later. Totally separate cities, totally separate lives at this point. Hadn't seen each other in years, but I was connecting with both of them, trying to talk both of them out of the drinking that they would do. And so, yes, it's sad, and at the same time, I turn to my spiritual capacities. I have to lean into the wind and lean into my feelings of love, because the reality is I'm not better than either of those people. We are one spirit. They will always be my spiritual brothers, and they've moved on to their next lesson. So I'm leaning into that wind, and I'm leaning into that rain, and I'm just saying, I love you forever, and I am learning lessons too, and you are learning lessons, right? Ken and Brett, I love you forever, and you're not bad people like that dog. You're not bad. You're beautiful souls just like that dog. You know, I think sometimes we leave this world with that feeling, but that is no way to leave this world if we want to leave in full recognition of what we are. And this is a lesson for all of us, isn't it? Because we all have our rain and wind that we're facing, don't we? And the question is, are we facing it like this? And are we then sometimes needing to shift the blame? Because that's one reason, that was one of the pitfalls of my friends, is that they ended up not being able to face the wind and rain, and so they blamed other people a lot. And that blame doesn't carry you anywhere. It just builds resentment. It builds disappointment. It builds pain because you're fighting life. Okay, let's breathe together. That's heavy. That's heavy. Remember Laura talking about the power of words? Well, the whole thing about that is that the reason the words are magical is because of the ocean of consciousness beneath those words. And so let's use that ocean of consciousness and affirm the truth. And I'm going to give you an affirmation that summarizes this whole survey. You know, the question behind all these questions is, do I trust my divine capacities? Let's ask that together. Do I trust my divine capacities? And here's an answer to affirm. I am one with the divine, and I trust my divine capacities. I am one with the divine, and I trust my divine capacities. So one survey question you can take totally on your own is just to ask yourself, what habitual thoughts, attitudes, beliefs, or behaviors might be stifling the flow of divine order in your life? Now, you know this hippo's got divine order going on in its life. I mean, how many hippos get their own little bathtub at that age and get all the loving attention you know that hippo is getting? You know that hippo is just bathed in love every day. And that's what is inside of us, is this divine hippo. Does that work? Spirit wants to bathe us in love because it's an ocean of love, just like that baby hippo is feeling. So anyway, take that survey on your own, and I hope that you will energize your can-do mindset, not just through your personal willpower, your personal belief in yourself, but because of your divine connection. Let's go into that. Let's each go within now and know that we can pick ourselves up from any situation, not just because we are fantastic and we are smart, but because we are divine. Marianne Williamson, who visited us a few years ago, she gave this famous quote, and I'd like you to go into your heart with this now. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Let's just hold that now in the silence within.
Affirmation.
Yes, we are. We affirm that I will get these mic stands in place, and also tune into that ocean of blessing that flows within you. You are a blessing. As we prepare our gifts to support this spiritual community and help it shine its light to the world, however you can, let's affirm together our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God. It's interesting, this song I wrote around, 1998. And one of the few times I performed it was in Hawaii for my friend Brett. And he was a huge Beatles fan, and he had inspired me to kind of try to tune into the spirit of Paul McCartney and write a song. And that's what this is. See if everything's coming through. Are we set?
should you miss the healing kiss of a golden day? If you knew the real you, you would want to sing to, 'cause you know that all you got to do is pick yourself up. If you saw what I saw, how truly lovely you are, maybe you would have a big aha and pick yourself up. You hear the whispers all around when you fall. Some people want to keep you down, it makes them feel tall. You got the choice to let the noise fill your head, or let the music in you jazz up your life instead. If you knew the real you, you would want to sing to, 'cause you know that all you got to do is pick yourself up. If you saw what I saw, how truly lovely you are, maybe you would have a big aha and pick yourself up. All your life you've been the last in line, hoping to find a little piece of the pie left over. All your life, throwing your precious time into the hole where your soul has been covered over. So I'd like to invite you to come on up a little higher, and then you'll feel the real you. Start tomorrow brand new, doing something no one else can do. But pick yourself up, then you'll see what I see. A beautiful soul in training, learning all the ways to reach way down deep. Way down below, you know what to do. Now you know what to do. Way down below, you know what to do. Now you know what to do. Sing it. Way down below, you know what to do. Now you know what to do. One more time. Way down below, you know what to do. Now you know what to do.
Let's just take a moment to thank everybody who is involved with this service and just feel that blessing. And I think we do you have anybody in particular you wanted to thank today?
We wanted to honor. I always wanted this. So today we are going to honor the bookstore, all the people in the bookstore that make that happen for us, especially Cora Lee, who is our bookstore manager, and all the work that goes into that, which we don't see. We get to go and see those lovely gifts and the books and just beautiful things for our homes. And if you haven't been there, visit it and talk to the people there. And it's just very lovely, and we're very grateful for their service. And I also want to mention just all of our volunteers. This church runs on love, really. It runs on lots of things, but love is huge, and the love that people share with all of us, so that we have all the wonderful programs and places to be and people to share what you're going through in life. It's quite lovely. So thank you all. And now we're going to bless our offering. So what I know is that this givingness of each person who participates here and gives of their time, their talent, their treasure, We are all blessed by that, and they are blessed as well. That this largesse presented to us today goes wherever it needs to go to serve Divine Spirit's purposes, and that it is such a blessing to us, to our community, and to the world as a whole. And we are grateful, and we thank each and every one of you. And so it is. Amen. One last thing I would like to point out is that at the end of the service, we have prayer chaplains who would love to speak to you and love to pray with you if that's what you would like to have. I encourage you to go over to the side and maybe just say hello and talk to one of us and see if prayer is something that you would like to experience, because it is our pleasure and our joy to do that. So thank you all.
It's time to rise, stretch, do a few jumping jacks, wake up totally so we can send out this loving spirit behind this song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.